Ladies and gentlemen, week 2 of the Green Bay Packers OTA practices are officially in the books, or at least another day open to the media. We should get another one soon, and then ultimately mandatory minicamp will start up, I believe, next week as well for the Green Bay Packers. But in this video, what I wanted to do is kind of break down all of the new news, notes, highlights, observations from today's practice. Also got to see Marshon Lloyd back out there working after missing last week. Matthew Golden putting in some work, building chemistry with his quarterbacks. Obviously Jordan Love and some other guys as well. So we're going to keep you guys updated on that. However, before we dive any further into this video, I want to give credit where credit is due. And that is with all of the Packer media members out there who work so hard each and every single practice to get these highlights, to get this film out for us to cover. Without them, these videos are just not possible to make. So go give them a follow on Twitter or X, because I promise you, you will not regret it. They post so much regarding these practices, so go follow them right now. You'll see some names at the top of your screen. Go give them a follow. Let's dive into today's practice. Let's go. All right, here's some Marshon Lloyd reps right here. Now, obviously, whenever you're playing in 10 personnel or even 11 personnel, sometimes you're going to see that running back get out wide. You have to be able to catch the football in this Packers offense, okay? So they're really trying to get Marshon Lloyd up to speed, building chemistry with the quarterbacks. Right here, he goes with the rep with Malik Willis. Obviously, Josh Jacobs is going to work a lot more with the guy like Jordan Love, at least early on in these practices. But as of right now, Marshon Lloyd really trying to, pick back up that gear, trying to shift gears, get to the next level. He's working with a bunch of the tight ends here. So very interesting, getting out wide, going on these deep balls. And again, need to be able to catch that football to really add a lot of versatility to this team. And that's one thing they're trying to staple into the offense right now, is these running backs need to be more versatile. All right, here's another Marshon Lloyd rep here, going through a quick little route. When you look at this running back room right now, clearly Josh Jacobs is that guy. But behind him, I don't want to say it's an open battle, but Emmanuel Wilson last year showed some really good things. So Marshon Lloyd has to come in here and he's got to work. He's got to improve each and every single day, especially catching that football. And I think he'll be utilized a ton this season, because you got Emmanuel Wilson, Marshon Lloyd, Josh Jacobs, and then behind those guys, Chris Brooks, Amar Johnson, and then you got Jalen White as well. Marshon Lloyd should be in for a really big year in terms of just, potential upside. If there's ever an injury, or if he's got to be a spot starter, I do think he has the capabilities and the overall talent to keep this running room at a good pace, if that makes any sense. So definitely excited for Marshon Lloyd, and so are the reporters today, man. They were showcasing a lot of him in these highlights. Now, as for some guys who were not spotted at practice today, Quay Walker was not there. Nate Hobbs, I believe, had a personal day. Something happened where he just had to be out. Jair Alexander was not there. Trey Hill, John Williams, and Jenkins, those guys were not at practice today. Not exactly sure why for the majority of them, but again, these are just voluntary practices. You don't have to be here. Also, players that were present but not participating included Christian Watson was there. I believe last week he went through some individual stretching period with his wide receivers or teammates. And then you also have Oliver, Fitzpatrick, and Brinson at practice, but again, not fully participating today. You got some Sam Brown Jr., the new rookie, another guy that they like here in Green Bay as a wide receiver option. You got a lot of options right now. Real quickly, guys, before we get any further into this video, do me a big favor, hit that like button if you want more Green Bay Packers videos and updates throughout the entirety of this year's offseason. And most importantly, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Guys, it is free. It doesn't cost anything to join the family. And like I said before, we got you guys covered throughout every single practice. Now, you may be asking, well, what does that include? Well, obviously, we got you guys covered OTAs, right? From there, they'll get into mandatory minicamp. After that, they're going to take 1 month off before they start training camp. We're going to be covering that as well. From there, it's preseason football, and football is back, right? We're going to be covering all 22 coaches' film, every single practice, every single game. We got you guys covered. Join the family. Doesn't cost anything. Turn on post notifications. That way you're notified every time we post one of these videos. And with that being said, let's kind of dive back into the video. Now, Sam Brown Jr. is a guy that they like as a UDFA free agent this offseason, but he's got a lot of guys to compete with. Obviously, Dobbs, Golden, Reed, Savion Williams, Christian Watson, Dontavion Wicks, Malik Keith, Julian Hicks, McCole Hardman, Bo Melton, Cornelius Johnson. This wide receiver room is deep. Okay, I don't know if Sam Brown's going to make the team, but he is giving a nice little first impression over the first couple of practices that they do like. Here's some more D-line drills here, just, trying to race to the quarterback, I guess, off that line of scrimmage. You see guys like Lucas Van Ness. You see, for example, a guy like Brenton Cox, who they believe in, man. You have Barrow Sorrell. You got Kobe Wooden. You got Kingsley. Colin Oliver. Dude, they got guys. Okay, we just saw the Eagles give you the blueprint of how to win a Super Bowl. You got to get to the quarterback, right? You got to be able to create pressure. They have a lot of guys that can do that. So definitely excited about this portion of the team. They're also pretty excited about Kalen King coming into his second season. Now, obviously, let's be honest here. Nate Hobbs will be your nickel corner. You have Keyshawn Nixon, and then you have Jair Alexander, who they got to come back. You also have some other guys that you like in, Carrington Valentine, Micah Robinson. But behind those top four guys, you have an absolute battle between, Isaiah Dunn, Tyron Herring, Kalen King, Micah Robinson, Kamal Hayden. They've got a lot of guys here that are going to fight for, a job on this football team. Kalen King is a guy that I think will make the team. As that former 7th-round draft pick, I think he's got all the talent in the world, and I think he's got great footwork, great sideline-to-sideline ability as a nickel, and I believe he's got some good tackling abilities as well. So I do like Kalen King developing. Here's some more work from the offensive line. You see some of the younger guys getting activated. Anthony Belton, he is wearing number 71. He is the guy initially right here, right? Not with the pads, but working through these blocks, right? One thing in the NFL that you need to do is be able to, move, right? You need to be able to move from one guy to the next. If you need to help out your left tackle, if you need to help out your left guard, right? He's probably going to be a left tackle. Maybe he could swing over. I'm not really too sure about that yet, but you need to be able to help out that left guard, whether it be Aaron Banks or John Williams or Tyler Cooper. You need to be able to help out, and I believe that they're really trying to, set in stone right now, like, block switch, right? You need to be able to help out a ton, so hopefully you can do that this year. Saw some more defensive line work here. Again, one of my favorite things about this football team is the depth that they have. I think they got a new defensive line coach here in DeMarcus Covington. I believe he spent some time with the New England Patriots last year as a coach. Also, another couple of things I want to mention. Dude, Isaiah Simmons, he could be good. I think he's kind of filling in for a weak side linebacker right now, behind Quay Walker, Isaiah McDuffie. But this is a guy that can move all around, man. He can play box safety. He can be in the nickel at times if you need him to. But he's going to be all around the football. Definitely excited to see how he develops over the next couple of weeks here. But overall, this team is ready to win a lot of games this year, man. You can tell the defense has a lot of guys set in stone that are going to be huge. Right, Rashawn Gary, Kenny Clark, Devontae Wyatt, right, Lucas Van Ness, and then you have all the depth we talked about earlier in the video, Quay Walker, Edgerrin Cooper, Teron Hopper, and then the secondary with Xavier McKinney, Evan Williams, Javon Bullard. Guys, this team is deep, they're loaded, and they're ready to win a lot of games next year.